Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Nimical GG here, bringing you a Storm League day number 2, and we are just going to look at the first ban pick phase of Team BM versus Team AGL. Both teams are Chinese. And we've got a Stitches ban for BM, and we've got a Rhaegar ban for AGL. Map is going to be Sky Temple. And so we see a Hammer first pick for BM, and then we've got a Vala and ETC on AGL, and Tassadar here on BM as their second pick. And it's important to note that this match is a few weeks old, so this is actually before the patch that came out on the 24th or 25th. I can't remember what Tuesday's day was. Anyway, also they're going to pick up an Illidan, so even though there isn't a Rhaegar, you've got the Illidan there. You still have the Brightwing for a burst heal or a Lily, is what I meant to say. You could also... Well, you can supplement those healers, or even in like an Uther, if you can't get your hands on Rhaegar. Or Uther, you can supplement a healer with a Tassadar, because he does have the healing ward. So, playing it safe is BM on the draft here, just making sure they can get a solid burst healer. And actually, AGL will take Uther away from Team BM here, and they will also pick up Nazeebo. Nazeebo is someone we're seeing a lot more now after the patch, because there have been changes to Gargantuan, but most likely in this match we're going to see a Ravenous Spirit out of AGL. And BM just taking their time. Probably going to see a Brightwing or Lily here. You know, maybe if they're feeling adventurous, they'll actually go with a Tyrande. Okay, so Muradin. They do need a tank, so Muradin's a good pick. I'm trying to think of who would fit in to help Illidan, so it's going to be Brightwing. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Muradin, very good tank. Probably, I would say one of the more... I would say maybe the third most utilized tank. I mean, we're seeing some Sonya play, but Sonya's technically considered an off tank. Mainly base tank, I would say. Like, you've got your Diablo who's showing up a lot. Oh, I forgot ETC. So Muradin's probably like third or fourth best tank right now, maybe. ETC already being taken, so they're actually going to go for Muradin. They're not going to pick Stitches here, because Stitches has been banned, so... And then a Zeratul going to come out for AGL. Now, for those of you who have recently just watched the ESL Go for Heroes Season 1 playoffs for North America, lots of crazy matches, but we saw a lot of... well, we saw mainly 2 Archiliad and Tempo Storm picking up the Zeratul, and just really being annoying with the Void Prison. Can really kind of get in people's faces and disrupt, you know, half a team if you get a good Void Prison off. So that's kind of what we saw out of those. So let's actually just skip ahead to the match, because we actually don't need to hear these guys. Okay. So we've got the minions out, and... Oh, hey, what's this? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, we've got a 3 in the mid lane. We've got Illidan just kind of lurking near boss, and then Sergeant Hammer will be soloing top lane. And down goes a Psystorm. So just a little bit of a poke here. 3v2 in the mid lane on Sky Temple here. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sky Temple is a map where there are 3 temples which spawn on the map. They're just 3 rings. They spawn here, here, and down here. And you have to control the rings and the temples, which are just rings, and then they shoot lasers at your structures. So you want to try and get as many of the temples as possible, and generally there's always more than one temple that spawns. you play the map enough, you understand that. See, like right now there's two, and this is always how it goes. The top two, it's always mid and top are first, and then their spot. Once temples do finish, once the second temple finishes, 2 minutes after will be the next temple respawn. And let's see exactly what these guys are planning to do. Okay, so ETC was waiting top just to see what the move was going to be. It looks like BM is going to move in here and take mid, as AGL is just going to kind of posture around, vision. Okay, they're just going to give up mid, which is the right play. Generally, you want to try and take a temple as fast as possible as a team, and then try and take as much of the other temple as possible. So both teams kind of wasting a little bit of time to go get that temple. Could have been a strategy on AGL's part. They could have wanted to delay the top temple so they do force a fight over it. I kind of doubt that's the case, but here comes the fight anyway, so ETC is going to do some zoning here. As BM's just kind of staying on the edge. They've got 3 ranged heroes here and one melee in Muradin, so really able to keep their distance. And with a hammer, she can siege up and give you something to retreat into as well, and it looks like they're just going to dominate this fight. There is, yeah, 3 range and 1 melee versus 3 melee and 1 range. Yeah, no wonder BM came out on top of that one. So, very excellent discipline, though, on AGL's part, not forcing the fight. You don't want to force that fight there and then lose it, because then you just give a free temple and you give free experience for however many deaths occur on your team. So AGL will quietly resign and take their own bruiser camp as Muradin heads bot lane, and we'll be gathering that experience. Temple just did stop, what, probably 20 seconds ago, so probably looking at 5:15 time-wise for the next temple to spawn, and it will just be the temple in bot lane. And generally this tends to spawn around like late level 9, or well, like level 9, but like anywhere after level 8, really, until like late level 9. Sometimes 10. You can actually, if you lane properly, you can, well, lane perfectly, I guess I should say, you can get to level 10 before the bottom temple does spawn. But both teams here, even in the experience, as AGL has already grouped, they do know that it's coming. They've probably got about another 30 seconds at least until that temple does pop. Unless I just have no conception of the passage of time. So bruisers will be taken by BM. Looks like Illidan just soloed them, which is something that Illidan can do. Illidan and Sonya, notorious for what you might consider in other MOBAs as junglers. But that's not really a term that totally fits in Heroes of the Storm. So generally when you are behind, you want to give up the temple, and you want to take that time to get your XP advantage back, or at least equalize the XP advantage. Looks like AGL may, I mean, you generally want to push top, because you push, this is only true for the bottom temple. You want to push top if you're giving up bottom temple, because it's the furthest distance from your opponent's position on the map, if they're bottom getting temple. And it basically kind of equalizes out. In fact, the team that's a little bit behind may still be a little bit behind, but they're a lot closer than they would have been had they actually just tried to contest the temple and given up soaking all the XP in the lanes while they would be fighting bottom. So smart move. We do see it in a lot of matches. You're probably not going to see it if you're playing Quick Match or Hero League, unless you're playing with people who study the game and know the game very well, but something to consider. As Hammer just doing a little bit of poke. BM just a little bit of a level lead here as they're going to enter 12. They've got about a 3/4 bar lead on AGL right now. Oh, probably a little less than that. Probably it's not more. Now it's more like half. Meanwhile, Voidford Prison does go down, trapping the Hammer, who's going to maybe get away here. I don't know. She's got so much healing going down, but it's eventually going to get her. Meanwhile, Nazebo back off with the Ravenous, gonna do some damage here and take some take a member down, take the Hammer down only actually, as Zeratul may. Wow, Zeratul barely gonna get away. Muradin probably not long, and he's not gonna make it, but Tassadar will make it as Uther, Illidan, and Hammer all go down for Team BM, and this is going to be a free siege camp for AGL. That's something we do see pro teams do a lot in NA and EU, is what we just generally call the 4 siege push, which is grabbing both camps. You can do it on a few different maps, but it's definitely very easy to do on this map. Another map it's very easy to do on is Dragonshire, as both siege camps are basically on the same position on the map for both teams. And I guess, okay, so these guys are just going to back off, not try and do boss right now. The temple is more important. They were maybe thinking about boss there for a second. And the rotate's actually going to come down from BM. They're probably going to force a fight here. They're both level 13, so it's not like BM's really at a disadvantage. As their bar does get closer to, they're actually going to just come in here, and if Hammer can siege up on that objective, they can claim this for AGL and maybe even overtake the AGL's, or BM can overtake AGL's experience lead, and it looks like they have done just that by securing this objective. So ETC will be top lane for AGL, getting that temple. But as we see right now, AGL is going to need a little bit more than that. We actually do have some lag coming in. It's pretty standard. Does tend to happen during the live cast as well. Okay, so rotate's coming up, it looks like. Okay. That's not me, it's the broadcast. I hate to sound so egotistical, but my internet's actually really good. And it doesn't really need to buffer. Okay, so it's particularly in streaming a YouTube video. Anyway, okay, so AGL going to be hanging out mid. It's important in this phase of the game is to try and stay grouped together. You want to kind of be in the area at least of your teammates, just in case a team fight just randomly happens. You can kind of jump on it. And AGL is gonna take this Bruiser, and it looks like these teams are geared up to take a fight before level 16, as Bruisers are here for both teams. Psystorm does go down. It's actually only 4-1 in kills right now, so both teams just kind of playing very safe, not giving up a lot of kills. Oh, well, that's perfect. Okay, there we go. Let's just get to when it starts being relevant. Man, they do so much camera dragging. I really wish I could get my own replays for this. It's yeah, something you want to not do as an observer is drag the camera as much as you possibly can. It's way easier just to click on an area, especially in this game, because you just hit Z and you can zoom out. It looks like we're gonna have some stuttering. This match is okay. Well, all right. So I jumped into this team fight, so apologies for the issues, but they did tend to carry over from the live feed into the YouTube videos. So go ahead and just see BM just nuking the members of AGL as 2 of them get bodied, and this is going to be a free temple for BM now. Although maybe not. BM's actually going to give up the temple and go do boss. This isn't necessarily a bad strategy because boss will attack that bottom keep. And AGL doesn't have any turrets up at the moment. And there we go. Boss for Team BM. They do actually manage to keep that temple too. So, actually no, Brightwing's just there by herself. So I guess AGL decided not to try and test the Brightwing, as BM could have rotated up if they wanted to. But now they're just going to push with this boss. And I don't think this is going to be GG just because AGL has sent everyone here already to defend. And not everyone is here. Well, Brightwing is top lane. She can easily phase shift down to get on to her team. But this boss is not really going to get a whole lot of work done. It is a 13-minute boss though, so that's not totally surprising. And actually, BM may have overextended here. ETC will get a pushback, but Tassadar going to dimensional warp away. Dimensional shift. Oh, Rain of Vengeance goes down. And that's going to be a lot of damage. Meanwhile, it looked like an Ancestral hit someone. And Uther not going to get away from this. Will turn into ghost form. And now it definitely looks like it's going to be an advantage to push here for Team BM. Hammer will siege up as the Uther Ghost dies. And they are going to push this keep. Now, granted, they don't have a lot of minions here, so this should be pretty easily for AGL to defend. But we'll see. I'm not saying anything because I'm waiting for an engage to happen because I'm really surprised that BM is still sitting here. They do have a 2-level lead right now, but I was waiting for the pounce to come. I mean, all you gotta do is hear the guitar solo, the stage dive comes in, and bam. Now, to be fair, AGL, unless they're really keeping track, they didn't totally know that BM didn't have 2 heroics up, so it would have been a good fight to force there, just to see if they could get at least a kill and then back off. But now it looks like BM's going to get this bot temple, and it's going to finish off what the boss couldn't finish off, just that keep. Oh, there's the stage dive. Okay, so ETC saving the stage dive will come in onto this temple as the Ravenous Spirit does go down, and no one's going to get close enough to Nazebo to stun him. Muradin will jump over, but most of the damage from Ravenous did get on AGL, or on BM rather. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough as they are running for the hills. BM almost level 20 here as well, so really just grabbing that temple. And a bruiser camp just might secure the game for them at next temple. And AGL they really need to just farm up turtle and farm whatever they can to get back into this game. But the way it looks, this game is totally over, and we're gonna go on to game number 1. Now, granted, the game is never over until the core does fall, but this is Sky Temple, and those temples do a ton of work. Especially when you see that they only have 1 turret left. Or 1 keep, rather, I'm sorry. So we're just going to see that middle temple fire off its last few shots, as AGL is going to want to regroup here and see if they can't get some more experience either in mid lane or possibly get a gank here on Brightwing if they happen to assemble like the Avengers. And they're actually going to converge on Brightwing, and she's probably not going to get away. Oh, never mind. Looks much closer on the minimap than it does on the actual battlefield. Okay, so now BM is going to push really hard. They're going to push top. And it's the last keep, and there was some damage done to it by the temples. They do have bruisers as well. They will be contesting. Oh no, never mind. Those are the close bruisers, it looks like. Okay. So it's much harder. It's difficult. It's difficult when you don't actually, when you're like not in the match. Anyway. So they do have some minions here, but it's not enough damage to really warrant a core push, especially with all the members of AGL up. So they're just going to play it safe and back off. Zeratul was mid, trying to get some experience. Probably just going to cloak up and wait for the rotate. Just get a scout boss, as BM's going to come that way, but they're going to see Zeratul. So now Zeratul and AGL know that BM's going to think about taking this. And they're actually going to take the siege camp, which will do work, and they only need one temple here. So really, if AGL wants to win this game, they need to completely wipe or injure most of Team BM so they back off, and then they need to grab both temples. But we're going to see what happens here. BM does have mid. AGL is level 20, so all of them want to secure that level 20 talent before they go ahead and dive in here. But the temples will spawn. And Zeratul was going for the flank, but Hammer sniffed it out. And AGL needs to do something here. Like, what are they doing? You can't have this much of the temple. Okay, so there the fight goes in. The Ravenous does go down, and damage being done. Muradin going for the stun. Takes him a while to get over to Nazebo, and actually members of AGL still going down. ETC will drop. Uther is down. Uther was the first to go, actually. I couldn't tell who it was. And that's going to be game. This temple should finish it off, and if it doesn't, then the top temple most definitely will, as Muradin is already up top. And GG, Team BM, game number 1, set number 1, match number 1. Number 1 dad, I don't know. There's so many number 1s, but alright, so let's go ahead and jump into the next match. Okay, so there is the pick ban. So here we go. Game number 2, pick ban phase, AGL versus Team BM. And they're going to ban Tassadar. You know, we've seen a lot of Tassadar bans. I have been doing the event live, so really I'm just catching up on the VODs here, recording these. So we have seen a lot of Tassadar bans, Tassadar picks. Tassadar, a very popular hero. He can allow you to maybe play a weaker support character, like maybe Tyrande, or maybe like a Malfurion. Even though Malfurion's pretty good and can solo heal, as we saw earlier today from the NA Go for Heroes Cup, or not Cup, but League or whatever it is. I don't think it's Go for Heroes. It's like ESL 1 or I don't even know. Anyway. The Stitches ban also will come out because this is pre-patch, so Stitch is pretty strong still, as the Sergeant Hammer will be the pickup for AGL. And I gotta tell you, over here in the Storm League, they love their Sergeant Hammer. Lots of hammers being picked up, and ETC will be picked up. So we are on Cursed Hollow too, so Hammer and ETC both excellent solo pushers, and an Illidan for BM. So we're most likely going to see BM go with a Rhaegar Uther, if not both, at least one of them. Both are available currently, as neither one was banned out. And we should see a Zeratul somewhere, because Zeratul is pretty popular over here, so probably not this pick. Probably the third pick, maybe we'll see a Zeratul. Okay, there's the Rhaegar. So the Rhaegar being stolen from Team BM and Vala. So Rhaegar Vala for AGL. It might not be the best pickup. Vala is good. She's definitely good pre-patch too. This is a Vala that still has battle momentum as well. Don't forget. Excellent talent. It's a shame that it was removed from her kit, but all good things must come to an end, as Brightwing will be picked up here. BM favoring Brightwing over Uther for the burst heal for the Illidan. And BM up 1 game, so they can really afford to get adventurous here if they want to. And we're going to see a Muradin for AGL and a Tychus. So Muradin, very popular today so far. And who will be the last pick for BM? It looks like maybe a second support here or a specialist. No, they do have a specialist. I'm sorry. So another DPS. Let's see. They have Tychus. Who do they have a lot? They can do Zeratul here. Lili double. Okay, so this is going to be a... This is actually a really interesting combo here. So they're going to have the ETC, who does some pretty good damage, and who actually wasn't touched patch-wise, I believe. So ETC is still very, very viable as a tank. Illidan, okay. Nazebo, lots of damage. Lots of damage, 2 healers. So BM looking to close this one out. The double support meta was pretty strong a few weeks ago in the western scenes. And lots of damage on AGL side actually, with a Vala, a Tychus, and a Hammer. So that's actually kind of old school. If they had Stitches, it would be complete. But since Stitches is banned, they're actually going to pick up a Muradin here. And let's just go right into the match. Okay, I'm just making sure that there's no like disconnects. Okay. So this is split into a different part, so I will have to grab the other video once this does end. But yeah, BM looking just pretty dominant. They had a lead the whole time. They didn't give it up. But we will see what the case is for AGL. See if they can make this into a match and take us to a game 3. So vision for both teams being taken, and it looks like we've got what, a 1-2-2, 1-2-2 for Team BM and a 1-1-3 for AGL. So the one nice thing about Heroes of the Storm is it's not as concrete as League of Legends or Dota, where you generally can play like a 2-1-2, and that's pretty much works for you the entire laning phase of the game. You can really mix it up right away in Heroes of the Storm, depending on what map you're on. But generally you can really mix it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and maybe try and... Okay, so they actually, BM switched to a tri-lane bot as well. Illidan Vala will be mid, as Tychus Brightwing are top. So if BM, or I should say if Tribute spawns here bottom, it's actually gonna be really lucky for Team BM, because their Brightwing can phase shift. So for a very small window, if it spawns bottom, they're gonna have an advantage. Team BM is, because they're gonna have all their members there. Okay, so 2 minutes. 2 minutes is when camps spawn, and the camps have gone up. And so far, both teams leaving them alone. Still have this tri-lane going on, bot lane, and no tribute yet. I generally do see the tribute around level 4, so it should be happening soon. Both teams will be 5 most likely before it pops, and there it is right there. So excellent laning done by these teams, as both teams are 5 before the tribute is even down. That is something you're not really going to see a whole lot of in Hero League and Quick Match, especially at the lower levels. And that is just like a minute detail of how professional and how on top of the game these guys actually are. So Murden going to take a lot of damage and just get out of there. This should be a free tribute then for BM, as AGL is going to be missing their tank, so they're not going to be able to contest this. But ETC will get auto-attacked off, it looks like. Or just maybe a misclick, I can't tell. Tyke is finally going to come in, so that advantage I was talking about was real. And BM did have an advantage for sure, and they just couldn't capitalize. They managed to do a lot of damage to Muradin, but Tychus looks like he's going to go down here. Illidan will get pushed back, though, from the hammer, so going to save him, but oh, there is the Tychus death. So Illidan finally going to make his mark, or meet his mark, or meet his maker. I don't even know. And then we're just going to go back to the tri lane here. So Nazeebo, ETC, Lily in the bot lane. ETC is going to go back as he is OOM. I just said that. I spelled it out like an acronym. I don't know why I did that. If you want me to tell you the truth, it's almost 3 in the morning and I'm casting this right now, so. Meanwhile, should see another tribute here soon, as we are approaching level 8. And that is generally when we tend to see the tribute. At least if we see it, you know, kind of early. But BM may be in 9 before we do see that tribute pop. Let's go ahead and have a look. Okay, so Illidan's going. Illidan is soloing the Bruisers here. Okay, so this is a tribute. Both teams level 8, so this will be a fair fight. And oh, not gonna be a fair fight anymore, as BM is going to hit level 9 before the tribute does go down. Meanwhile, though, AGL is already here, so they are on this tribute. ETC is going to have to power slide, and he's not going to be able to do it. So Muradin will pick up that tribute for AGL, and now AGL needs to take care of these Bruiser camp. This Bruiser camp mid, they can't have that barreling down on their mid lane turrets, as you want to save that ammo, especially when you are cursed. You want to make sure that your turrets, especially your mid turrets, don't take a lot of damage, because the more work it's just like Blackheart's Bay. Well, it's just, I mean, it's a common strategy. It's common strategy among, I guess, all maps. In Heroes of the Storm, you want to do some work on your opponent's fortifications yourself, and then when the objectives come, you know, Merc Camps or Garden Terrors or, you know, Curses, whatever, the work is done. We're gonna see a big team fight here. We're gonna see Tychus Laser drop. Both teams are level 10 here, and it looks like Rhaegar is gonna go down for AGL. So AGL gonna be missing their heals. They have popped all their heroics though, and actually the Ravenous gonna get a kill as well. So BM looking very dominant right now, as they will scoop up this boss. AGL can't contest. They just got their Rhaegar up, but they still have Tychus and Hammer down. It's unfortunate, as AGL does know that this is happening, but they are powerless to do anything about it, and should be taking their own boss as well. But they're actually just going to push this. Oh, they're going to try and kill not ETC, Muradin. I almost said Arthas. Then I almost said ETC. These skins, man, they're confusing me. That Muradin skin looks like an Arthas skin. Okay, so Hammer's going to try and just posture here with the defense with Tychus, but they're going to lose this fort. Boss is here. Vala is laning top, just trying to get some experience. Maybe wants to come back and win. Now it's way too late, so they got split up. Tychus just way out of position, gets isolated and flanked. Demand and conquer, command and conquer. No, wait, divide and conquer. Oh my god. Jeez, I really messed that up. But Hammer's going to siege up here on the boss, and not really a whole lot that these guys can do, although Nazeebo will get the zombie wall off and force the thrusters out of our Hammer. And AGL just not looking like they've got an answer right now for Team BM. As BM a talent up, as they've picked 3 sprints, so yeah, I think they're going to be able to get away from whatever AGL is going to be throwing at them. And here comes the tribute. So actually, if AGL manages to secure this tribute, they could get back into the game, but they are 2 levels down and probably don't want to contest this. Plus, they do have some wiggle room on the tribute, and now they're gonna okay. They already made the decision to kind of poke there way too late. And actually, BM's gonna... Oh, I thought they were just gonna converge as a group mid and then just force AGL back. And just gonna try lane here. Take those minions out. Let those minions do some work. Take the ammo down. And BM's gonna move to their boss. So just kind of aware of their advantage. Pushing their advantage when they can, taking objectives since they do have map control. All of their heroics are up as well, for both teams actually, so we will see a lot of fireworks here in a second. And there goes the stage dive, and this is it, folks. The hammer siege does happen. Or oh no, I'm sorry, that is the Tychus turret. The Rain of Vengeance goes down completely whiffs. Metamorphosis pops as well, as Illidan will be jumping around, but he's going to focus Muradin, which probably is not the best target to focus at this point, as BM's going to get pushed back here. AGL looking like they're coming out of nowhere here. This could be a fight for them, and they desperately need it. Meanwhile, Illidan jumps in, the Ravenous goes down, but Nazeebo's going to get stunned out of it, as Muradin will jump back. Siege Camp still doing some work on this fort, and AGL may just secure this tribute here, and they're going to get a curse. Unfortunately, some of their members are low. They got to back off, heal up, but they still have a solid minute to work with. For those of you who do not know, the object of this map is to collect 3 tributes, which you just saw AGL grab their 3rd one. And when the 3rd one pops, that means the turrets of your opponents and the forts and keeps do not fire. And it also means that your minions only have 1 HP. So, well, your opponent's minions only have 1 HP, so your minions will just plow through them as you see. So they have got minions on the keep of BM, and they might just get 2 keeps here. Or, I'm sorry, forts. So they're going to get 2 forts here. A 2-for-0 trade and 4. Oh! And we got to jump into the second part of the match. So here it is. Real fast. Look at that. Pretty cool, right? Oh, we've just seen this. So sweet. Here we go. Very loud, very loud. Alright. Okay. Wait a minute. I knew it. I hate that YouTube does that now. It just randomly just will keep showing you things. It's like, dude, I wanted to watch one video. Stop it. It's actually a good idea for them. But anyway, another fight here. Team fight happening. Tychus, ETC. Getting engaged. ETC's going to go down. That laser is going to melt him. A face melt ETC. Isn't that ironic? And actually, this is going to be a boss for AGL. Oh, no, maybe not. They're actually going to ignore the boss and look for more ganks, maybe? Both teams now level 16, so BM's really going to start playing a little bit more conservative here. They really don't want to... They have literally given away their advantage, except their XP advantage, which most likely is going to be equalized as soon as this fort goes down. Oh, maybe not. And they do have someone in bot lane as well for both teams farming up, so AGL's going to take their boss, it looks like, and we're actually just going to have a boss trade here, possibly. Although Nazeebo attacking those creeps is probably not a good idea. It does let them know that they're over there. Meanwhile, Tychus is going to get a scout off. You can see it. There it is. Tychus gets the scout off. He knows they're doing boss. And now we're going to see the converge from AGL. They're not going to let them have this boss. They're going to let the boss get low. They're going to try and steal it. If not, if they can't steal it, they're at least going to try and get some kills here. If they can actually get a kill here, that's going to be huge. As I mean, it's only 12 minutes into the game, and actually, Muradin will jump in and not be able to steal it from ETC, as that's going to be a boss, and AGL is going to have to pull back to defend this. Luckily for them, their turrets are still in great shape. They probably could send, yep, they're going to send Hammer down to get that siege camp. Oh, maybe not. I guess she's gonna. Oh, look at this! They're gonna these cheeky BMers. I love it. They're trying to take this boss here. Smart move on their part, but they're actually gonna back away. They baited the boss. Now they're gonna pretend that like they're not there. So the vision of them is gonna be off. Okay, so now they see ETC, and oh, now they found Illidan. Tychus is actually probably going to overextend, but luckily no one else is there to follow up for Team BM, so Tribute's going to pop too. And Hammer is sieged up, so this is not looking good for BM to get this Tribute here, and they desperately need it. Even though they are ahead right now, they need the Tribute to get back. They've got a boss on the core. If they get a curse here, oh my god, stage dive comes down, so here comes the initiate from Team BM. Illidan jumps in, but he's by himself. He's in no man's land. What is he doing? He pops his first A, but he's not going to get away. That was just way too over-aggressive. That's you dive like that on bots. You don't dive like that on a 5-man team that knows what they're doing. Ancestral's going to go down on Tychus. Tychus going to stay alive. Rain of Vengeance is going to go down. Nazeeba's going to pop his Ravenous, but I'm sorry, but that's way too late for the Ravenous to come down. Not going to do work. Not going to do enough. Maybe they get the Hammer here. Consolation prize for Team BM. 1-for-1 trade. They will get the boss here if they continue to do it. And it looks like their boss had been taken care of, most likely by Vala, who's back in the spawn. So even in a 4v5 there, BM barely kind of getting away. Actually, no, Vala must have just spawned. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, this boss is going to go to BM, so BM doing a great job here. They could push with this boss if they wanted to, but they're actually just going to grab bruisers too. And I don't really like this because this could be what AGL anticipates, but fortunately for BM, they don't anticipate this, so they're going to take the bruisers as well. Sorry about that. Anyway, so siege camp will go down for AGL, and both teams just down. Oh, I'm sorry, no. They still have a fort up, BM. They still have that bot fort up, as the defense of the boss is happening in bot lane for AGL, as BM is pushing the issue in the mid lane. Hammer's sieging up, doing whatever she can, but unfortunately it's not enough, and they will lose this gate. The curse will end, but they have got minions barreling down on this keep. They will be pushed back as all members are up, are grouped, and BM so close to level 20 right now. They will take the bruisers on their side of the map now, so just really being aware. They will get scouted though as well by Tychus, so the napalm goes down, the zombie wall goes down. And even though they're gonna, oh my god, they stopped this? Nope, they didn't stop it. But ETC's gonna get stunned out here. Hammer's, or that's not Hammer, that's the laser. Man, they need to make those look a little different. The stage dive coming down will kill the laser. Maybe not the best use of that, since the laser was already pretty dead. And Muradin gonna poke a little bit, but he's gonna get out of there. Muradin is a tank with an awesome escape. Allows him to leap. I forget what it's actually called. I can't remember. But very good stuff. He's like Gimli in Lord of the Rings. That's how you should think about Muradin. Anyway, oh, my apologies. I drank some coffee. Just a little tired. But we do seeing that group beginning to happen mid for BM. They've got to do something here. They've got the level 20 advantage, and you really need to force the issue here, because having those level 20 talents are amazing. Like having them are, it's just amazing for you. For example, in the new patch, Uther has resurrection at level 20, so when he dies and becomes a ghost, he can actually respawn, kind of like oh, what's that thing in I think it's Guardian Angel in League of Legends it's called, maybe, or Zhonya's Hourglass, I think it is. Or no, Zhonya's is like Ice Block. Anyway, let's talk about those other modes, doesn't matter. Boss gonna be taken here for BM, and just keep it on top of the bosses here. Also getting really lucky with tribute spawns. Now, neither team needs a tribute here, so neither team probably gonna go for it right away. They're gonna look more for objectives. That bot fort is gonna go down for BM. Finally, AGL has forced their way down there and just taken it. Too little, too late though, maybe, as that boss is starting to barrel down on that top keep for Team BM, and if they want to, they can push here, but they probably won't now that AGL has hit 20. Siege camp being taken will most likely be delayed here, and there it goes. So they're just timing it perfectly, so the siege camp will attack the boss. And meanwhile, BM going to split push again, boss pushing top. Team BM will take mid keep. One of them, if not both of them, most likely gonna go down here. Rhaegar not gonna be able to defend that too well. Really need Vala over there giving a hand to do Rhaegar. Really put that damage out. And Tychus and Vala is trying to force these guys back with hammer. They're damage dealers. Just trying to do enough with their auto attacks and their basic abilities to kind of force them back, but this might be another tribute here for Team BM. And we'll see what happens. ETC just, hey, I'm gonna just try and take this in front. Pros don't fake. But anyway, Hammer's gonna do some damage here. The laser does go down, so Illidan's gonna try and take it out. ETC's not gonna hit it though. He's actually soaking the damage. And the Metamorphosis will go down as well. And we see a stage dive. No stage dive yet, as most of the heroics are actually still up for BM. They've actually forced AGL to use all theirs, and now the heroics come out as Ravenous and, oh my god, the wombo from Ravenous and stage dive there was pretty insane. Blink and body blocks from Brightwing and ETC on the Hammer. Hammer is not going to get away. The Zebo is going to finish off, who was that? Tychus. No, Vala. And ETC is going to try and take Muradin here, and Muradin should get away. Power Slide just close enough. The Polymorph will go down though, but Muradin can grab some health. He does grab it, but still might not be enough. Oh wow, so sick. Manages to leap into his base to prevent himself from dying, but this is going to be the core for Team BM, as only 2 members of AGL are up, and not really interested in pushing ETC off their core. The camera has moved a little bit now, so now we can see actually what's happening, as Muradin is trying to zone these other players out, but ETC is there on the core, hitting it with his guitar, and that's going to be GG. Team BM will take the series 2-0, and I believe indicators are used in this group, so they will have +2 added. They will have 2 added to their indicator, I believe. So very cool stuff there for Team BM. I will actually start working on the other video here in a minute, but thank you guys for watching and keeping up with competitive Heroes of the Storm across the globe. Feel free to follow me on YouTube and Twitter at InimicalGG, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.